Welcome to the Wheel Watch channel. On one half of the team, Shaq. Just want to start off by saying I am good. Thank you, fans, for all the gift cards, all the medical arrangements, all the food just dropped off at my doorstep. I just thank you. Been a lot of speculations, a lot of talk about, the Wheel Watch channel and how it's been on a long pause. I was recently involved into an incident that allowed me to, receive some therapy, and a lot of you guys reached out. You guys was there, so it's just an honor. I'm so humble and I'm so thrilled to just know that even though we a while was on a pause, you guys were still able to keep me strong. So thank you so much. But without further ado, drop that beat. Oh man, boy, I tell you, man, that beat just deserve an Oscar. How good that intro is. Welcome to the Wheel Watch channel. One half of the team, Shaq. Got a special guest in the building today. Now this next guest is like my sister. We've been trying to do this for a long time. A lot of people got a lot of things going on in this world today, and a lot of people are actually getting sick. And just crazy world right now. So just a good tool to get this recording, because I couldn't do another day without just getting this podcast going. So this is my sister, Brittany. She's a business owner. She's a mother. I'm gonna even let you introduce yourself. What's going on? Welcome to the Wheel Watch channel.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for having me, Shaq. Yes, it's been a while. I've been wanting to come onto the show. Great things that you guys are doing. Um, yes, I'm a business owner, a mother. Uh, I also fly the friendly skies, and just ready to communicate and have these enlightening conversations. So
Okay.
I'm ready.
Okay. Well, welcome to the show. Your family good? Everybody good?
Yes, everybody's doing great. Thank you for asking.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Now, you know, stranger to the show. You saw some type of episodes, and last time we did talk, we was actually at this seminar, and you was actually just giving game on mindset, and I'm like, wow, like a lot of time people be telling me like, oh, Shaq, you just be dropping gems and dropping gems, but I was in the back and I just heard like this over 40 people, and you were just dropping gems on mindset. And I think we do episodes. Of course, we talk about ownerships, we talk about investing, capitalism, a whole lot of wide range spectrum of what we talk about. But the fact that you were just talking about the mind, I said, okay, let's come on the show and let's talk about it. So when we talk about a mind, our mind has to be set. It has to be balanced. So that's why it's called mindset. In fact, there was this old quote that said, you motivate people by your words, but you inspire people by your actions. But most people can't even do that because they so focused on the money. All they doing is worrying about trying to get rich. I even had a man to tell me, I don't want to be rich, and I don't want to be poor. Okay, so what you want to be? So I just want to ask you, since you know so much about the mind, how, in terms of being successful, how can a person, you know, how can you do the mind to get from where it's at now to where it want to be at to be successful? What do you think a person got to do?
Well, first, you brought up some great points. First thing, um, this is my number one thing in my rule. Always have a positive attitude. And a mindset, and the definition of a mindset is a set of attitudes established in a person. And in a person, it's really you. So your mindset needs to be positive. If you have a positive outlook on things, When you wake up in the morning and say, hey, today I'm going to be positive. Today I'm going to set a goal. Today I'm going to achieve that goal. So it is with positivity, setting goals, and then also following up on those goals with, like you said, action. We have to have action because without action, you can't do anything. But also, if you don't have a positive attitude, then you can always be optimistic. So, optimistic, yes, let's see if we can do this today. Maybe we can, maybe we can't. I'm going to try. These are the things that we need to have as far as our mindset goes. So, your mentality needs to be this, okay? I am going to set a goal. This goal is, this by this time next week, I'm going to have, $30 or $30 every hour or whatever in my pocket. How am I going to get those 30 extra dollars outside of working? Let me set a goal. Let me not deter myself from that goal with negative thinking. Again, it brings back positive attitude. So to combat that, we always need to place things in priority. And your mindset needs to be positive.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you elaborating on that. In fact, that's a good point. I mean, I thought about something while you was talking. Just having just positive in general and dealing with the mind. So, positive mind with a negative body just don't match, right? So, positive mind with negative bodies, right? So my whole thing is I agree with you with the actions. I agree with you, as far as, people being optimistic and all of that. But I kind of, with the goal setting, I mean, that's good, but then that's not good because most people don't even know what a goal is. And I just honestly feel like, I mean, you laughing, but I'm dead serious. I mean, I just think that when you talk about money, when you talk about mind, our culture in general, I'm not even going to dive into that, but you know what I'm talking about. People that look like me, walk like me, talk like me, I just think it's people. I just think that, people can't be successful because of who they hang around, you know, um, and I think it's the language, so do you think that we are financially traumatized?
Yes, I agree with the points that you make. We are. I mean, just even going back in history and where we started, we already were behind the curveball. So for us to catch up, our parents would have to teach and instill in us, you know, just like you said, speaking on language. If we go out into the business sector, we have to know how to communicate with these people in order to get them to do what we, setting what we want them to do as far as like, making money. Because in this day and time, especially young people, we want to have money. It's all on social media. Everybody wants to be rich. Everybody wants to do this, but you do have to have the right mindset. And it does come with language. And I'll tell you another thing that a lot of people don't understand. Whenever you go and apply for jobs or whenever you're going to chase these careers, if you don't have a resume that is up to par, and I'm speaking in language too, they will literally throw the resume in the trash. You won't get your foot in the door. You won't get anywhere. So you have to have the right mindset, but also you have to have certain qualities that they're looking for, and you have to set yourself aside. And in order to do that, you have to have some self awareness. Hey, listen, I'm not the best speaker. Hey, listen, I'm not the best, person who has a big vocabulary. Let me take the time to educate myself. Let me take the time to find resources to where I can do that.
Right, right.
It all
But
ties in together.
I don't mean to cut you off, but why they can't speak that language? Because you ultimately brought up something. You said about the parents. Now I'm gonna switch it up a little bit. I'm gonna say the reason why they broke, the reason why they're in most situations is because of their parents. Our parents, hear me out, it's the reason why we are financially broke, right? So with me, I'm gonna just go ahead and tell you, a financial slave can't teach me nothing about financial freedom. And I feel like 40% of our culture are nothing but financial slaves. Do you agree or do you disagree?
Okay, so I agree to a certain extent, and let me tell you why I agree to a certain extent. Yes, we are financial slaves in the sense of, hey, we don't have the backing or the money to do the things that we want to do, even though we do them. Even though we might do them, we might not have the money to do it. So we'll go into debt doing it.
Okay.
We'll borrow, knowing that we don't have the potential to make that money back. So we put ourselves in a bind. But here's where you can make that a positive. We can compare what our parents and say, hey, our parents did this, so it's their responsibility as grown adults to teach us things that we can learn on our own now. So, yes, as a child, it's their fault. Whatever your parents didn't teach you, I'm sorry. They didn't either have the means to do it or they did, and that wasn't their priority. But now, once you become an adult, you have the responsibility to go and make yourself better. You have the responsibility to say, hey, whatever childhood trauma or whatever I had going on in my childhood, now that I'm an adult, I have to take on that responsibility to make myself better. And if I want to make myself financially better, then I need to educate myself. And that means finding different avenues to do that. And they are out there, especially for young people.
You sure about that? Because I'm gonna be honest with you, there's not a whole lot of resources out here. I think it's a lot of resources out here, and then I don't think it's a lot of research on. But I want to go back because, well, just to dive on the resource because I want to be credible when I say this, right? There are resources out here depending on what the topic and the situation is. All right. But I don't think that I still think we financially traumatized. Now I agree. It does take a person to educate themselves because I know the first thing I did when I got $1,000 was I educated myself. Um, that was the first thing I did. And every time I get $1,000, I do nothing but just educate myself because the minute you stop learning is the minute you stop growing, right? And I just feel like we are slow learners, we lazy learners. We believe everything that Google tells us to do. We stop at Google, right? So we want to go beyond. So I feel like we still are financially traumatized by our parents. Now you might say that, oh well, you got to go out here, you got to do what you got to do, you got to, you can't just make the blame game. I just still think that it's still financially slavery out here because you got to think about it. It's two types of slave. It's a field slave and it's a house slave, right? And that's why I said a financial slave can't teach me financially freedom because a financial slave, see that field slave, they understand that living in a massive plantation, right, is not the life that they want to live. But the house slave, but when you give them the opportunity to have freedom, they stay on the plantation. So it's a parallel that I just have a problem with. And my problem is it's a game out here. We brainwash. So you can tell them to go to resources. You can tell most people don't even know how to read. Now, if you do this, right? If you say, okay, I know a resource that you can use that will help you get a business, but then they be like, okay, where should I go now? And then you tell them, wait a minute now, it's $1,000 cost to enroll. They're gonna switch to navigate because it's not free. And when you drop that R on free, it's nothing but a fee. And that's when they get to run because they don't want to pay. Right. So I'm hearing what you're saying, but you gotta bring me back to what you're saying because I feel like if you ain't playing the game, then you already lost. Do you agree or do you not agree? I mean, I hear what you're saying. I get it what you're saying, but you just gonna have to like I'm following you, but that's why I say the financial slave can't teach me anything about financial freedom, because it just, the moment when you see the word free, the moment when they see the word free, right? Uh, they get attached. But when you drop that R on free and it becomes a free, they get to running, right? So talk about it. Do you feel, I mean, how can we get through this, from becoming a financial slave with a positive mindset and getting away from the money? Because I will arguably ask you, what would you do right now, right? If I came to you right now with a duffel bag of $1 million, right? You got two options. I can give you a duffel bag full of $1 million, or I can give you a duffel bag full of books and a manual that will help you build $1 trillion business. Which one would you take?
Well, I will take the $1 trillion business just because it makes all the sense in the world. Why would I take $1 million and my mindset is not right? The minute I get that money, I'm going to go blow it because I've never had $1 million before. So I don't know that I need to, if I'm in debt, pay off all my debt. Then put some money in a savings account. Then if I want to invest, I can invest. Everybody doesn't know the steps that it takes, especially if you haven't had money or you've come from money and been given those opportunities. So you first need to put yourself in a room with people who are already at that level. I'm not going to sit in a room full of people who don't know what I want to accomplish, and we're all just talking about, hey, let's accomplish some goals, but none of us know how to set goals and to take steps to accomplish them. I'm going to go in the room with people who are already at that process, who are already at that step, so they can say, hey, listen, this is what worked for me. It might not work for you, but do this way. Hey, this is what worked for me. This is what didn't work for me. So I can take it, apply whatever I need to apply, see if it works. If it doesn't, write down. I'm a firm believer in write everything down, from the goals you want to set to the goals you accomplish to anything that you feel can better yourself. That way you don't forget your ideas. They're constantly right there in your face, and you can take them step by step. But you do need to get away from your environment. If your environment is negative, if your environment talks down and say, hey man, why are you doing that? That doesn't sound good. Be around people that's going to motivate you, because that also, it also helps you accomplish your goals when you are surrounded by people who are like-minded. And again, that goes to mindset. I'm not going to surround myself with people who aren't doing anything with their lives. I'm going to surround myself with people who are trying to achieve certain goals in life and who've already achieved those goals and are continually trying to work at those goals, because it doesn't stop. You have to have self-awareness, and that's a part of a mindset too.
Mm, appreciate that. You thinking like me. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. But I agree with you. This is the first time in the interview right now that I actually agree with somebody, because people don't think the way I think, and I had to come to a reality and understand everybody's mindset is different. Some people can think at 100% pace. Some people can think at a 50% pace, but it might take them days, months, and years to get it. Like when I was in school and the teacher can give the answer, I can give the answer, but sometimes you got to show that work, right? But most people, they want the results, right? They want the answer, but they don't want the process, that so that they will achieve, you know. But and it's funny you talk about the room, because there's this quote, you are who you hang around, right? If it's four fools in a room, don't make yourself the five fool in a room. Isolate yourself, you know. And I know with me, if it was two buses, right, I'm gonna get on the bus full of eagles. I ain't gonna get on the bus full of turkeys. And that's the problem. Like, people, you either a turkey or you an eagle. And I don't like to refer to my culture, our culture, as culture, as animals. But I have to do this because I know that I can see the light at the other tunnel. You know, uh, somebody had to be the voice to make them, give them that extra push. And I feel like that's why we are brainwashed and financially traumatized because we don't want to invest in ourselves and do that. So, what do you think about? Do you feel like poor people with a poor mindset live paycheck to paycheck?
So we have to start making opportunities for these younger people, as far as if we know people in these certain industries that they want to be a part of, we can introduce them. I'm all about connecting. If I know this person over here wants to be a chef and I know a chef, hey, let me get them together so they can ask the right questions. Let's all get in the room. There's enough room to go around where all of us can have a piece of the pie. But we have to bring the pie to the table. We can't be selfish and say, hey, I've made it, so I'm going to keep it to myself. I know this person and I know that they're trying to do it. I don't want them to do it either. To me, I don't believe in, hey, this person is my competition. I am my own competition.
Mm,
My work ethic is going to stand out beyond anybody else's because I pride myself in work. So me, I'm a fair game person. If I know you have a son who wants to do something and I know I have a friend, I'm going to put them in a room together so they can get what they need to get. Now it's up to them to ask the right questions and do the further work. But if I have an opportunity to open up that door, I'm gonna open up that door.
okay.
You just have to walk through it.
Okay. I appreciate that. We appreciate that. Well, I 95% agree with you on that. The 5% I don't disagree with you on is with the connections. I mean, yeah, that's true depending on if you know the people, but all connections ain't all protection. You might open up the door for somebody and it may not be a good relationship. It may turn sour. But all you could say is, I did my part. I turned them on. I put them in position. But I just feel like, uh, our parents going back, just a little bit going back. See, wealthy people, they teach their children wealth language, right? Poor people teach their children poor language. So poor mindset people, as in you answer, in a sense, they do live paycheck to paycheck. Rich people live year to year, and wealthy people live generations after generations. But I just arguably say, and don't get me wrong, I think you should open up the door. Like if somebody need a job, like you said with the resume, hey, I got a friend, they hire, boom, 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 bam, bam, bam. But when it come down to be successful and want a business, just a bit from a business standpoint, right? Money, that's something. That's it can do a little bit. Money is a little leverage, but knowledge is everything. And you cannot do nothing without knowledge. So I want to ask you, and I just want your honest opinion because we kind of differ in a way, but we also have some similar points, and that's why I allowed you to come on the show. Do you feel like the quickest way for a person to add value, because that's what we need to do, we need to create a system. You mentioned resources. The quickest way for a person to add values to themselves is to learn something new. Do you agree or do you disagree?
I agree with that wholeheartedly. I feel as individuals, we are so complex that some of us want to do 15 million things at one time, even though we can't accomplish all of them. You know, my grandmother used to tell me this: nothing beats a failure but a try. But you first have to try in order to see if you succeed or fail.
Mm,
So you don't have a leg in the game if you're not even trying. So again, going back to mindset, you have to have a positive mindset. You have to have self awareness and you have to You have to set goals for yourself, but you also have to have a good work ethic. I'm
Mhm.
not going to hire just anybody because, oh, they need a job. If you can't show me that you don't want to come to work or know how to work, and that is being on time. I'm a firm believer in being on time. That shows me right then and there that you're coming prepared to work because you know what time you have to be to work. You took the time to get up, get yourself ready, and be prepared. Number two, communicate. You need to communicate. An open line of communication is key to any successful business.
Mhm.
Number three, and this is the most important one that I abide by, just be honest and trustworthy. Hey, I can't come to work today because so and so. Don't make excuses. Do what you have to do. If you have the right mindset and you put those things in order, you can achieve what you're going to achieve. Yeah, there's going to be some setbacks, but you're going to succeed. You really are. You're going to succeed.
I appreciate that. See, that's why I allowed you to come on the show, man. I'm glad that you came on the show because we have to let them know how to break that, that financial vulnerability, to break that trauma because, you know, in everything we should learn, right? But in all things, we should try. So, you know, it's just I'm just so thrilled right now just to hear you break this stuff down in a way that the people at home can understand. So, real quick, let's go back. And I just
Mhm.
want to get your answer because I just want to see if you're on team mindset fully. Because a lot of time people can say, oh, they need to have a positive mind, they need to communicate and all this. So real quick, because we running short for time. Let's go back to the question that I asked you about the $1 million and the books on the $1 trillion business. So let's say you have one book, right? That book can get you $1 trillion business, but it's $1 trillion pages to finish reading the entire book. But you got $1 million right now. So do that change your perspective? Because again, some people gonna take that money because they ain't got time, as in you say, they worrying about the right now. I ain't got time to read $1 trillion pages book. That'll take me from when I'm in my 40s or 50s or 60s or 70s. Like they ain't got time. So do that change your perspective? So are you team mindset? And be honest. Or are you team money?
I'm team
Close it.
mindset. I mean, you got to have a positive mindset. You got to have the right mindset with anything you do, especially money, because money burns fast. You know,
Mm,
do you ever see these people who win $1 million from the lottery and you're like, wow, how are they already broke with $1 million? Or these football players who have these contracts, they get money and then they go broke. It's because they don't have the right mindset. They're so eager to spend money on whatever comes. Oh, I have to have this. Oh, I have to have this. That goes with mindset too. That goes,
mm,
I mean, it's tied hand in hand. But to me, mindset is worth more than money. You can always earn money, but you might not always have the right mindset to maintain the money that you have or to get more money if you choose to, make more money if you, unless you're Steve Jobs or somebody who's has this flow of money just everywhere. But, you have to be smart about it because I can hand you $1 million right now if I had it. What would you do with it?
oh, you asking me?
If I had $1 million,
Uh-huh.
what would you do with it? If I just handed you $1 million, what would you do with it?
Oh, so you asking me this question. You coming
Yes.
on my show asking me this question. All right. So I tell you what, um, what I would do, I would create a system that add value, right? The quickest way to add value to someone else is to teach them something that they do not know. So I will create a system that add value that will put them in position. Again, like you said, it's up to them to take action, right? I will create a system that will allow them to be in position. All they got to do is actually play the game. And because again, if you ain't playing the game like I mentioned before, you already lost, right? So that means you got to play the game, get a good hand, right? And win the game. And it may take you a long time to get a good hand, to beat this game. But that's what I would do, right? And I will break it up in criteria. Now everybody don't qualify. First thing you got to do, you got to invest in yourself. You got to hang around positive people. You got to understand that the 5 F's that keep people broke is feelings, family, food, fun, and friends, right? So that right there, I already know a lot of people ain't gonna attend the class because they can't even let that go. Our culture in particular, they put their feelings and stuff. They want to go out and have fun and turn up. They go and eat food, which it be fast food, right? Family, they listen to their family, which is some of the most biggest haters in the industry. It's the family. They gonna hate on you because they don't want to see you grow. They don't want to see you win, right? So we got to break that financial vulnerability. So that's what I would do, all in a sense. So real quick, you got anything you want to say? Will you let the people know what if you want to what you got in stores, what's coming up, what's new for you, and how can you be reached if people want to know more knowledge on mindset instead of money?
Okay, well, yeah, I have some business adventures, some dabbling, some real estate that I'm gonna try that avenue, something different, but I'm ready for this adventure because this market is something spectacular and I want to be a part of it. And you can reach me at my email. I have my email address.
Huh?
It's bricam25@gmail.com. Um, I have a lot of knowledge, and I just want to educate people and make them aware that, it is tough out here. We are going through COVID and, you know, we're experiencing financial difficulties, but there's always a way to come out on top. And there's always a way to come out of your situation. And you just have to surround yourself with people who are trying to do things because they're going to motivate you. Your friends who are all about shopping or, doing things, they're not really motivating you but to shop. I want somebody to motivate me to be like, hey, listen, did you see that property over there? We can probably flip that and, you know, make this money and then buy another property and flip that again. So you got to surround yourself with people who are having these type of conversations in order to be a part of the conversation and do something. So
That's it. That's it. And I like that you said real estate, which, that lets you know, and you talked about business, which, like I said, on this show, we talk about ownership. It's 3 types of ships, right? It's ownerships, and it's mothership, right? And then you got slave ship. So, the fact that you are on the boat and you want to get on the team ownership, hey, that's the team I'm gonna get on with you. I'm gonna ride that boat of ownership. I'm not gonna get on that slave ship because I might not come back, So at the end of the day, thank you for coming on the show. Thank you for expressing so much knowledge. I'm finally glad that we got this uh, episode aired. And again, you educate yourself, motivate yourself, and and inspire yourself to be better, and most importantly, to do better. So thank you so much for coming on the show. And we look forward to having you again right here on Wheel Why. All right.
Thank you for having me.
All right, that's it. That's it, viewers. If you didn't learn anything, please hang around the right people. Please educate yourself. Please stop out here splurging and spending all this money, and get on team mindset. Okay? Get on team mindset. Challenge and give yourself throughout the whole year of 2023. Right? We're in a brand new year. So have brand new opportunities, brand new mindset, brand new beginning. And hey, look good, feel good, do good. It's all good. Again, I am Shaq. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I am Shaq. We are why, because we are why not. And I'm just gonna jam. If you don't mind, Brittany, I'm just gonna turn this up a little bit. All right, and we gonna jig out with this little outro. All right. Peace.